Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kurtivada. In this video, we will learn about JavaScript type conversion. So what is type conversion and what are the different types of type conversions we have in JavaScript and also how they work internally in JavaScript, how we can use this with examples. All this we'll cover in this video. Let me go into another slide. So here you can see these are the two types of conversions in JavaScript. One is implicit conversion and one is explicit conversion. First, we will talk about implicit conversion. Implicit conversion is a conversion done by JavaScript. That means you will not do anything new. It will be taken care by JavaScript and it converts automatically based on its rules and regulations. And coming to explicit conversion, whenever you want to convert some value into the required type by manually, that means you will do manual conversion. Such type of conversions are called as explicit conversion. So let's talk about implicit conversion with an example. So now I'm going to my Visual Studio Code. Here what we'll do is I'm creating something like var a is equal to 10. It's a number. So what I'll do is I have something called as var b is equal to psi. So what here I'm doing is I'm combining these two. That means I'm adding 10 plus psi. So now what I'm doing, I'm concatenating or I'm adding a number with a string. Then what is the output over here? So here it is actually a conflicting part because the type of A is number, the type of B is string, and if I combine both of them, what is the resultant output? Let's see that. Let me save this. And here who is the decision maker is JavaScript is making the decision and the type of C. Okay, so that will be decided by JavaScript. What is the type of C and what is the value of that C? So let me do this. And you can see 10 psi. That means it is converting your number into a string and then it is concatenating with string. So that is how it is happening. For example, if I do 10 and if I have something like B over here, now what I'll do, I'll just add A plus B. So now I'm concatenating both of them. Why I'm saying concatenating is whenever you are adding something and if you have a number and a string, then the resultant will always be a string. So now let me save this and clear this off. Let me hit enter. Now you can see 10 and 10. So this 10, whatever the A value is there, it is converting into a string. But who is converting? JavaScript is converting implicitly. That's why this type of conversion is called as an implicit conversion. So what will happen? Let me write some notes over here. String combined with any type. For example, I want to give a false value and now the false value combined with a string will again be a string. You see false and 10. Now here in this case the boolean is converted into string. That is also done by JavaScript. So that's why it is called as an implicit conversion. So let me go here and use string plus any type can be string type only. So you will be getting a type as string. So let me see that by using type of keyword we can find the type of that particular C value. So type of the C value is string. That means it is implicitly converted. A boolean value when concatenated with a string converted. A string value concatenated with number, again the same thing, it converted. But if you try to use A and B as a number itself, for example, I'm giving a number and I'm giving a number. Let me try it out. Now you got the number as a type and let me print the value as well. See, save this and run this. You got a number type with 20 value. That means 10 plus 10 is equal to 20. This is fine, absolutely fine. Whenever you are using a plus operator with a string or any type, you are getting a string. For example, let me go with another case. So I have something like 10 itself and this one I have something like psi, and now instead of using plus I'm using minus. What will happen? Let's see that. So let me run this. So our expectation of this is a failure case. Why? Because plus in the sense if you have a string it will concatenate, but there is no option like minus with a string. So you can't do any minus with a string. So what will happen? It will print nan, not a number. So that means it is trying to convert it, but even after converting, because of this minus operator, it is getting failed and it is storing a value called as nan, not a number. But the type is still a number because whenever you are doing a minus, it always expects some number to be the resultant value. So the expectation is again a number. So the type of C is number and you got nan, not a number. So that is how you can see whenever you want to concatenate a number with a string or a boolean with string, you will get a string. But whenever you are doing a subtraction operation, a string can't subtract from a number, and hence it is saying that not a number. For example, what I am doing, I'll give 10 as a string. Now save this. Go and run it. We expect this output as none, but not the case. Here the case is a 10 which is of string can be converted into a number because a string of number is possible to convert into a number. So it will convert implicitly and then it will add or minus. So answer is 0. So the number and it is equivalent to 0. So try to understand whenever you have a string and if you have a minus symbol and that string is not a number. For example, you can give 10a, 10b. If it contains an alphabet, that is not possible. So that's why it will show you nan, N-A-N. And if you want to check whether a number is nan or not, in that case, what you can do is you can't check with equivalent options. Instead, you have to check is nan. So there is a method by JavaScript that is nothing but is nan. So whenever you use is nan, it will tell that whether it is a number or not. So let me go here and hit this. It is false because it's a number. And now what I am doing is I am using psi. Save this and run this again. You are seeing a true value. That means JavaScript will try to convert a particular string into a number whenever there is a minus operation, and if it is not able to convert, it treats that value as a not a number. So that's how you can use number versus string, minus and plus operators. So it is very important in the examinations. They will give you a sample example and they will ask you to expect the result. So always remember these particular cases which helps you to crack the interview questions. So these are some of the questions which they may be asking. And even let's go to the explicit conversion. Explicit conversion is something like you are trying to convert a value from one type to another type manually. Example, let me go with var a is equal to 10. So this is a number. Now I want to convert this into string. So for example, I want to convert a number into string. So now I can use many ways. I'll use string and I'm passing that string value or a number value. So now I'm passing a value. So what it does is it will create that as a string. Let me use console.log of b and let me print the type as well. Type of b. Save this and run this. You got that 10 with a string. And if you print before this, that means without this string, then it will be normal number only. So string class can also be used for converting your number into a string. Not only number, you can convert even a boolean value. For example, in this case I am giving a false which can be converted into a string. So now it is converted into string. In the same way, if you want to convert some value that is a number, example I am giving a 10 and let me give number and save this. Now the type of b value you can check. Now you can check the value is 10 and it is converted into number. So you can convert any string which is possible. So here string of 10 is possible to convert. That's why your value is 10. For example, you have 10 ABC. Save this and run this. You will get none because 10 ABC is not a convertible number. So that's why it is showing none. So let me use false into a number. What it gives? So it gave 0. Why? Because as per your machine code, 0 indicates false, 1 indicates true. So let me pass true value and save this. Now hit enter 1. That means whenever your variable is a boolean value, when you convert that particular value into a number, either you will get 0 or 1. 0 indicates false, 1 indicates true. So this is something related to the conversion of boolean to a number. Let me comment this off. And now we'll write something like this is something like a boolean to number, and we also saw about number to string and a string to number. So that is also possible. Now for example, we can also convert a number to a boolean value. So let me do that. Where a is equal to 10, this is number to boolean value. Now where a is equal to 10 and where b is equal to number or boolean class, I can use a boolean class with a. So now let me use the same console like this, copy and paste here, and the type of b. So now what I'll do is I'll give 1 and I'm trying to convert into a boolean value. So what is the output? Let's see. If you hit this, you got the true value and the type is boolean. So here the type is boolean because I passed 1. 1 when it is converted into a boolean, it is true. For example, let me give 0. Now you try this, you got false. That means this boolean value is converted into false case because 0. And if you give 10, for example, and save this and try to convert this, it is always true. So it will check undefined or defined. For example, I give 20, again you will get the true value. Now what I'll do is I'll give undefined and try to execute this. So you got false. If you give null and save this, convert into boolean, false. And empty string, again convert into boolean, false. That means whenever you have an empty string, null, undefined, 0, all these cases the boolean value will always be false. Remember, 0, empty string, null, undefined. In all these cases, the value of the boolean, whenever you convert that boolean, whenever you convert that into boolean, you will get false. In all the remaining cases, you will get it as true. So that is how you can convert number or string to boolean. So that's about your number to boolean conversion. And now there are other cases which you can use more to convert these values. Let me show you some other cases as well for the explicit conversion. Example, I have var obj. You can have objects also. Let me go with name Sai, and this is an object. If you print this, it is an object. So you will not see any of the string format. So it is just an object. Now let me go and convert this into object. So you can do something like console.log of JSON.stringify. You can use stringify to convert an object into a string. Save this and just execute this. You can see there is a string applied on this, and you can check the type also. And let me check the type. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this, put it over here, and let me assign to var b is equal to, and let me check the b value. So now b value comma type of this b. Save this and hit this. Now you can see it is a string type. But if you print the same thing over here, that is type of obj, then it will print object. It's an object type. So here it is an object type. So I have converted into string and the type is string. So like that you can convert an object into a string. Even not only the objects, you can even convert the arrays. So let me comment this and now go here. You have an object, but this time the object is an array. So let me use Sai and Kumar. Save this. Don't bother about the syntax. We'll talk more about arrays and objects in the further videos. For now, this is the syntax we are using. It's a collection of strings. So now what I'm doing is just let me go into my terminal. Yeah. So here it is again an object, but here it is string. Array will not be shown directly as an array type. Instead, it will come under the object type. So like that, you can use the conversion from a complex data type to a string data type. This is how we can convert. And now save this. There are different type of conversions again. If you go with a number, same like a number to string, where a is equal to 10 and I want to convert into a string, you can convert either with a string constructor, which we are using over here, like string of or number of or boolean of. If you want to convert a number to a string, there is another way where b is equal to, I can use a dot toString. There is something called as toString, which helps us to convert into a string. Console.log of b and type of b. If you see this value, it will be converted. Number to a string, or you can even use false, that is a boolean value. Even that is also possible to convert. So whatever the data type you have, you can use dot toString for converting into strings. That is only for primitive data types. So number or boolean to string value, and save this. Now for example, if I have a string already, if I convert into string, will it be adding some more quotes? Absolutely no. So if it is already string, it will not bother. It will just ignore and it will just assign the value to b, and that b value will be displayed over here. Don't think that it will add some more quotes to your variable. It will never add any quotes. It will ignore this case because it is already a string. So that is also one case. I'll just revert this to 10. So that is related to number to boolean. And there are some other conversions. So let me go here. Something like a string to number, and this one we saw, like if you are not giving a valid, it will give none. But there are some cases where the string plus number will act in a different fashion. I'll show you an example here, but try to check this how it is working, and in the next video I'll tell you how exactly this particular cases will work. One case is parseInt, where a is equal to, I'll just comment this, where a is equal to 10 semicolon, and there is something called as where b is equal to parseInt. So you can convert any of the string of number to a number by using parseInt. So I'll pass a and let me print console.log of b comma type of this b value and save this. Now execute. So you got a 10, that means it converted into number and you got the number as a type. And now what I want to do is I want to add ABC and try to execute this. Still you are getting 10 value. So how to get exact 10 value from this parseInt, that you can try it out. I'll come up with another video where I'll explain only this particular scenario, string to number, how many cases we have and how many different ways we can use it, and which is the best way to convert our number to a string, convert string of number to a number and validate whether it is right or wrong. So that way we will be seeing in the upcoming video. And also I'll try to cover one more case, that is nothing but you can convert your number into decimal. For example, where a is equal to 10 and I want to display into a decimal format. So what I'll do, just I'll comment this part and now I can convert into float. That is nothing but parse float of a. What it will do is it will convert into float. So let's see the type as well. What I'll do, I'll create where b is equal to parse float of a and now let me print that b value along with the type of. So here I'm converting a number into a floating value. So what will be the type? Again, it will also be a number. So here there is no difference between float and double and int and a number. Everything is a number. So now what I'll do, I'll just keep it as string. Now I'm converting into float. Again, it converted to a float value, but here we are not seeing the decimals. So if you want to get onto the decimals without a value, for example, I have .002 and save this and run. Now you get 10.002. If I don't use parse float and if I use parse int, save this and run this, you got only 10. That means when you are having a decimal values and if you try to convert into an integer number, it will ignore all the numbers you have after the precision. So precision is dot. So 002 is ignored and you are getting only the value as 10. So that is also one of the thing which you have to remember. Parse float will convert your floating string number into a number, floating string into a floating number. So that's how you can use parse float as well. And if you give parseInt, it will ignore the precisions and it will show you the output. So that's about your parse float. So let me summarize. We have used many cases here. We have used a string and a number and a boolean as a constructor, and also we tried to use stringify, and also we used toString, we used parseInt, and also we used parseFloat. So let me mark it as float. So I have used all these cases. There are some other cases which we have to handle between parseInt and some other approach. So what is that approach? How can I get an exact value from parseInt, and how you can find out whether the given number is a valid number or not by using 10 ABC. For example, it is returning you the converted value as 10, but it should give nan. Why? Because it is having an alphabet, but parseInt is not giving that. It is taking the value, how it is giving and what exactly it is going behind the scenes. Let's talk all about parse int and other approaches where you can get an exact value in the upcoming videos. That's it for this video. Hope you like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.